So Forest take 3 points, Sheffield gets slapped, and Luton's bubble has burst. Good weekend all round. Oh yeah, and Burnley lost, didn't they? Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Good morning, evening, or night. Hope you guys are well, and welcome to a bit of a party stream. Some would say it's a bit too early, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm still, you know what? I've had so much happy clapper juice. There's no alcohol in it, but I am feeling a little tipsy, mate. Honestly, seriously, it's been a good weekend. Hope you guys in the chat are well, and thank you to Gripper with his cool emojis. I see him on Twitter all the time, bro. Thank you for becoming a member, bud. And Andy with the 6 months. Hope you're well, Andy, and thank you for your support over the last 6 months. Hope you're well in the chat. Get your highs in. We got a bit of a big panel today. Lemmy was going to come on, but after he tweeted calling me Jinx Serene when I called the Luton result done, he can't show his face. So Lemmy, if you're in the chat lurking, I know you're there, bro. I know you're there. How you boys doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, good, bro.
Yeah, good.
Rob,
very good.
You don't sound too happy there, Rob. There's a bit of a good thank you. You're not in freaking session here, man. This isn't the House of Parliament.
I'm very happy. I'm jubilant.
Well, you are, because like I messaged Rob yesterday, or Rob messaged me, whatever. I can't remember which way it started.
You messaged me.
I messaged you. Okay, sorry. I chased Rob, right? And I was like, I was messaging him back saying, you fancy coming on tomorrow night? I hadn't even sent the message, and I go, yes. It was like, and I was like, what time are you for? Anytime. It's just like so honestly, the only person I would ever reply to that quickly would be if Jennifer Love Hewitt was asking me out on a date. It felt like that. So it's good to have you, Rob. How are you, bud?
It's nice to celebrate, isn't it? I mean, that Newcastle game. I'm actually glad you didn't have me on after that, because I was at rock bottom after that.
Were you Cooper in again?
No, come on, not that. All right, almost rock bottom. But what a turnaround in a week. I think the best thing is that I just stay away from the ground, because I went to the Newcastle game and I missed this one, and I obviously got it the wrong way round. So,
someone else missed this one. Someone else missed this one. I'm seeing a double jinx here. I'm seeing a double jinx, Crypto.
I went to the wrong ground. I went to the West Ham ground.
Toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was there all by myself. No football turned up, so I came home.
A bit like West Ham at the City Ground yesterday, then.
You won't see any football there, mate.
Quick shout out to Rich. Thank you so much for becoming a member, bud. Mikey with the 13 months of Forest win and Tenerife in the morning. Oh, it's all right for some, isn't it? And legend, that is Jordan. Hey, boys, hope you're all good. Thank you for the 199. How's your mum doing, bro? Is she back out of hospital now? Hope all is well there. Sending our love and thoughts. I'm sure the chat will as well. Will knows where we are. Will knows where we are. And Nick, with the 99 super sticker. Hope you're well. Give our love to Logan, and thank you to all those people who subscribed to Logan's channel yesterday. Let's just jump straight in. Who's the biggest happy clapper here right now? Any takers to start us off? Don't all shout out at once. Bloody hell.
I always butt in and start off, don't I?
Right, I'll start. I'm an extra happy clapper tonight, because Sheffield United have just been slaying 5-0, which is hilarious.
Who's Sheffield United?
Sheffield.
Oh, sorry, Sheffield. Dead name, guys. Sorry, Sheffield. The match was brilliant. Had to watch it on some of the means yesterday, because I had to travel to London for work. But yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? The good thing is nearly everybody on the pitch. In fact, let's say everybody on the pitch for Forest was in good form. It's nice to see. It's like we finally gelled. Some of the players in the passing was brilliant. I mean, Tavares, I thought, played brilliant. He must have put 3 or 4 crosses into a dangerous area. Everyone was contributing to the goals. Dominguez, Tavares, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Taiwo. Even Danilo's shot was brilliant. It's only Yates who ruined it with his offsidery. So no, it was brilliant. I thought everyone played the part. It looked like the team had finally gelled, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later. But for me, this is now our informed team, and what I would do is keep it going into the next match.
You wouldn't change it.
I wouldn't change it. No, I think if you're playing in form and you can put a performance on like that, you know, we didn't look like conceding. We were good on the attack. We had loads of shots on goal as well. I would go ahead and play that team again. I don't think we need to be dropping players who, unless they're out of form. I have said before that I'd like to see Rayner in for Callum Hudson-Odoi, but he's clearly on a bit of a run at the moment. So I'd keep him in there. The defense looks solid. Murillo is brilliant again. Sells looks solid. It was just a good game. So I'd keep it as it is going into the next match.
We're gonna get into change. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but we'll get into.
I want to hear the argument why, because I think they were shit as well. Let's take that into account. We were decent. I do think that was our best performance this season. They were awful.
Everyone was played in their right position. Everyone was played in their right position, and everybody looked like they were in form. Yet not everyone was perfect. I know Felipe got ran past and things like that, but it was a solid performance. We didn't concede, and we didn't look like conceding. And it's been a while. I think I'm right in saying it's the first win of the year for Forest in the league. Yeah.
First clean sheet as well. First clean sheet.
Yeah, exactly. First clean sheet. So why change it up? Why change it up?
Can I address this thing? There's always this narrative in it when a team plays really well, the other team were crap. Yeah. I mean, I do agree with that. They were dreadful, as I predicted they would be.
Yeah.
But don't let that lessen what Forest, the way that Forest played this thing. Because we've played poor teams before and lost. Don't forget on many occasions. So this is a change for us.
I think it was just to counteract going forward into the next game, because Villa aren't going to be as bad as West Ham were yesterday, in my opinion. So I think changes are needed. I think a change will be made. Really? Yeah, I think you got to have a look at, if Sangare is fit, you got to look at bringing him in. Surely.
Danilo had a good game though yesterday.
Danilo was excellent yesterday.
Danilo had a very disciplined performance yesterday, very disciplined, and I really enjoyed it because it did allow Dominguez to be a bit more forceful and a bit more on the press. I still want to see people joining Dominguez when he presses, because he knackers himself out every single game. But he was one of my three for man of the match yesterday. He was absolutely brilliant until he had to come off.
He was an unsung hero, wasn't he? He was an unsung hero for me yesterday.
Unsung hero. The assist was perfect.
We desperately need a song for him, don't we? Because I'm sure the Forest fans really appreciate what he does on that pitch. But as of right now, we've not actually got a song for him. So we
really blue eyes. In your that's a tune. That's a tune. Sorry.
That's old school, that is.
Carry on.
Carry on. Yeah, I don't see
I
don't see the Dominguez connection. But
have you not seen how piercing his blue eyes are?
He has got beautiful eyes.
No, I don't look at men the same way you do. Like, I don't wank over Felipe. I don't look into Dominguez's deep
You didn't have to go there, Ant. You didn't have to go there. You can appreciate a man without having to crap one off.
Yeah, of course you can, but you don't have to be obsessed and go on about it. Have big pictures on your bedroom wall.
I have nothing to say.
It's turned into a Zorro stream.
But yeah, this isn't a members only, man. This isn't a members. On that note, as it's not a members only, two quick things before we unleash the Felipe or whatever. We've done the next one. Thank you so much, Lucky Robot, for the £10. We've been robbed. Most losses under Nuno. This time we win even without the deserved penalty. Dominguez is slowly becoming our best player.
Yeah,
interesting. Another pretty blue eyes fan right there, Lucky Robot. Thank you. Why are you shaking your head, bro?
Well, I think someone else is our best player. I think someone else is our best player.
Can I just quickly tell you this stat? I'm not going to be very. I'm going to.
I thought you don't believe in stats.
No, listen. I'm going to mess it up because I don't really pay much attention to stats. But it was something on the lines of, since Nuno was appointed, we have something like, it's either there's third and fifth. Yeah. It's either third best XG or the third best XG against, and the other one's fifth. So we're like top of the defense and top of the attack. at the moment. You know,
But
we're scoring a lot of goals, guys. We're scoring a lot of goals.
Forget stats. Just remember to be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Yeah, well, I wish for this, and you know, what can we say?
I was going to mention SofaScore. SofaScore. Go on. Surely you can mention SofaScore now.
I'm not. But if you want to download it, do download it. And chat, be careful what you wish for, because we are going to officially start the giveaway for the City Ground tonight. We'll put a community tab in there. The question will be, how many pieces make up the beautiful City Ground? I can confirm this hasn't got the shipping part extensions in the corners, unfortunately. But it does have the floodlight still there instead. So if you want to win this, you can pre-prep by clicking the link at the top of the chat and go to the FOCO website and find out how many pieces there are. Now, we're going to put a community tab there where you can get your answer, and we'll also have it on our Twitter page at official FFTV, and we'll put it on our Instagram as well at official FFTV as well. Who won the gnome? It was Forest Fan 12. I don't know if he's in the chat, but he won the gnome. This is being launched tonight. I just haven't had time to set it up, because I'm
so pleased about that, because it seems to have been around for years.
Yeah. Well, we've had like 3 to give away. It's not 300, man. Come on, this isn't Bumhole Lane.
No, that's how many likes we want on the live stream. That's how many likes we want.
No, we only work in 5,000s. So please do hit that like button if you haven't already.
To be fair, guys, Ez asked for 200 likes last stream and we got it. So that is fantastic.
Yeah,
well done to everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna ask, because apparently it's the in thing to do. We have to ask for 5,000 likes with 400 people in here, so the maths makes perfect logic. All right, don't put your answers in here.
Wasn't it?
Get your answers. You don't have to guess the answers. Just click on the link that's pinned to the chat. Note it down, and when you see the community tab on later, you will be able to put your answer in there. And by the way, you better be in the UK if you're coming into this, because Owen, you cost me an arm and a leg. Right? UK only on this one. UK only on this one.
Talking of arms and legs and costing of, not only did you not tell us, Ez, that we got £1 for every comment that comes up on screen, but he didn't tell us we were supported officially by the club either.
Oh
yeah.
I mean, you know, he's keeping these finances to himself, isn't he?
We didn't. You actually better explain that one, Ant, because people are going to start believing this.
No.
Because obviously the way we talk and the things we say about the club is exactly what they want us to say.
Yeah, apparently we're funded by the club, and the club has spent over 250 million on.
That's according to a Sad Blunt fan, by the way.
Sad Blunt.
Wait, he said that? We're funded 250 million.
We're 250 million. Yeah, he said he wasn't going to talk about us, and then he went on to this.
Then he went on bars for 10 minutes.
Wait, hold on.
Jimmy, you all right, mate? Another good day for you.
Wait, hold on. If we get 250 million, why is your internet so shit? As
exactly. Hey, it's better now. Stop jinxing it. It's been no problem last 3 streams, so don't jinx it now, bro.
All right, let's do a couple of super chats. Randoms of the £2. Mark Clattenburg appointment as a ref analyst. Right, I got a little news for you guys on this one. Some news. There will be an article tomorrow, I think, in the Mirror, where all will be explained. I can't say any more, but keep an eye out on them. We'll put it on Twitter as well. Probably have a video on it, but all will be explained tomorrow. It's a bit of a weird one.
Rest assured, Jimmy has put it out publicly on Twitter that it's because we're a corrupt club that we've got a ex-referee.
His logic makes no sense whatsoever.
Has anyone ever seen that documentary with Clattenburg where he had the microphone on him?
Gladiators.
He was refereeing. He was refereeing some Premier League games, and he had the mic on him, and they played back the abuse he was getting off the players, and it was unbelievable. It's out there somewhere. I think it was a BBC documentary.
It wasn't unbelievable, Rob.
Well, it was.
You see players effing and blinding at refs every week, so it wasn't unbelievable.
Yeah, I think what was maybe less believable. It's just what he just put up with a certain amount of it, whereas like I would have just thought like, right, red card straight away for what that guy just said. But it's just, I think it's because these dudes are on 100 grand a week, so they think they can talk to people like that. But I don't know. It opened my eyes anyway. But I thought he's a decent referee in his day. So I don't know. probably a good appointment.
I thought he
As
was
you're
one
on
of the
mute.
better ones at the time, but you know, the bar is very low.
No, he was crap. I remember that goal he gave to Man U against Spurs, man. He was on the books. He was on the books. Just very quickly, Noah with the 4.99. Guys, not going to lie, in the last stream, I said, if we win, I will donate £100. If we win, what a performance from the boys yesterday. Really happy I'm back, guys. Good to have you back, Noah. We'll let you off on the 95 and a penny because you're happy. That's good enough.
Get your super chats in because these shirts don't wash themselves.
They don't watch full stop. They don't watch full stop. The ones that fit anyway. Okay, let's start getting into. Yeah, he's back in the laundry. Let's start getting into it. But yeah, so keep an eye on the papers tomorrow. You'll all find out about Clattenburg on that. Okay, I want to get into this game, right? I'm going to start with a weird one here, and I'm going to start with the goalkeeper. Because we haven't talked about goalkeepers for a long time, boys, right? And I didn't notice Sells yesterday. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? Who wants to talk about the goalkeeper?
Yeah, no,
the thing about him is, I said this to you, didn't I? It's so nice that when the ball goes back to him, we don't panic.
No panic.
Yeah. Because every time before it was, now it goes back. You just, like you say, you don't even think about it. It's very calm. He seems to be very calm.
Yeah.
I don't think he's done anything wrong so far. His distribution is quite good as well. That's calm as well. It's come out for crosses occasionally, but I mean, it was difficult yesterday because West Ham, let's face it, produced virtually.
They were really poor. They were really poor. I think you can't underline how poor they were, but he was solid. You can't knock him for anything that he did. I agree with Ant. His distribution is good. You don't feel panicked when he gets the ball. He wasn't finding touch. He was finding players. Like I say, when he came out, needed to back up the defenders, he did. But there was one occasion where I wish he'd come out a little bit sooner. But other than that, I couldn't really fault anything about his performance yesterday at all. And that is such a relief, massive relief. And I'm sure everybody agrees with that.
I do.
Just keep talking because I'm damn well trying to sort out this giveaway.
Why do you not carry on talking, man?
Yeah, Mark, I can't shut you up normally, seriously. And like Mark's asking me where it is. I'm setting up in the community tab now. Okay, for those of you asking, these lot you have to talk without me. I can't hold your hands forever, boys.
I think that says it all, though. The fact that nobody's really got much to say.
So move on. Move on. You don't need my permission to move. Move on, man. Move on.
I've got a load of stuff to say.
Oh, Rob, you take over while I sort this crap out. Go on, Rob.
Right, okay.
Stop putting in.
This has to be the first time this year, at least, we've won a must-win game because we never win those, do we? So,
he said it wasn't.
Oh, that must. All right, maybe it wasn't a real must-win game. That's why we were able to win it. But I mean, for me, it all hinged on two moments of quality, and I mean, I think in Premier League football, it's not really about the amount of possession. It's not about your shots on target. It's not about having a good performance. It's about can you produce those moments of quality. And, the first one was obviously just before half-time. Tavares crosses. The header comes out. Dominguez, the control with his right foot is sublime and then passes with the left foot. And then no one's getting that ball off of one. He's so strong, just slots it in. But Dominguez there, just the sheer class of taking that ball down with the right foot, pass with the left foot. That's the sort of quality you need to win those games. But a few minutes later, and I don't think this has been talked about enough. So straight after Gibbs White has the shot saved, Felipe is caught in possession by Antonio. And, we know what a dangerous player Antonio is. He's got a decade of experience in top flight football. I still think he is, right? He's got a decade of experience in top flight football. And he's up against a 21-year-old who's in his first season of senior football. And I don't think this has been talked about enough because I've watched this maybe 20 times now. At the start of it, Murillo is about 30 yards away. He's barely even on the screen, right? And it looks, for all intents and purposes, like Antonio is through on goal, right? But he makes up the ground. And you'd think that a lot of defenders would just go flying in because they'd want to tackle outside the box. They'd want to make the tackle outside the box so it's not a pen And, you know, if necessary, they'll take one for the team, maybe get a yellow card or whatever. Antonio doesn't do that. What he does is he just keeps closing down the angle, and he almost invites Antonio to shoot from outside the box because he knows that Sells can save it from there. And then what he does is he's gradually getting closer to him. The composure that he shows, no panic, and then he's so close to him, he knows that Antonio's going to come across him, puts out a leg behind him, clean tackle, not even a hint of a penalty, and he's got his eye on the ball the whole time. And I've watched it so many times now. The poor guy that was watching the game with me had to beg me to shut up about it, because I think that's one of the best pieces of defending I have ever seen. And straight after, the fans were singing, "You'll never beat Murillo." Obviously, back in the day, we used to sing, "You never beat Des Walker." And it made me think about it, right? I think it's not possible to overhype Murillo. Honestly, I think not only is he the best defender I've seen since Des Walker at the club, but he's quite possibly the best player I've seen in 30 years. Since Collymore, right? That boy is going to go for 100 million if he goes at all, right? We should be happy at the minute that he hasn't been noticed by the Brazil team, because I don't want him going on international duty, because I'm telling you, once he gets in that team, once he gets in the team, he ain't coming back, right? You know, we're going to be missing him. But every game, for me, he's man of the match. He's so consistent. And to start off with, he was a little bit weak in the air. He seems to have fixed that. I like the partnership with Felipe. Obviously, the Brazilians together. What a great player to learn off as well. You know, but that piece of defending that we saw from Murillo, it's got everything. His reading of the game, the speed with which he gets back, his positioning, the calmness, the decision making, and the clean tackle. That won us the game, honestly. And I don't think I can overpraise it enough. So hopefully that was enough praise. As just a couple of other things I wanted to say. What I like about the last few games, even the Newcastle game, two players that I had quite frankly given up on, Nuno is now getting the best out of. So the first one is Hudson-Odoi. And earlier on in the season, I was thinking, maybe he's not fully fit. Maybe he's worried about getting injured again. Maybe he's off the pace. Maybe it's a confidence. It's none of that. What has invigorated him is the combination with Tavares, right?
Thank you.
That is a superb combination. And I was thinking, why is it? Because Tavares, the dog snogger, is not a brilliant player, but in combination with Hudson-Odoi, incredibly dangerous, because we thought all the threat was going to come from Elanga on the right. No, that is now the side where the danger is coming from. And I think if you were to break it down, you would say that Tavares has got pace and power, but not a lot of skill, right?
IQ.
But Hudson-Odoi is the exact opposite, right? He's a bit lightweight, but God, with the ball at his feet, I would say second only maybe to Gibbs White in the team. And even that's a close run thing. You know, him with the ball at his feet. So how do you stop a combination like that? Because you can put a big, strong defender, but Hudson-Odoi is going to run rings around them, yeah? Or you can put maybe a slow, experienced defender. Tavares is going to get behind them. It's a nightmare to defend against. So that was the first one. The other one is Nico Williams. I had kind of given up on him this season. I was thinking, like, you know, he's one for the future, but when is the future? You know, and there was a point where I thought, look, let's just buy Montiel. Montiel is the long-term solution. Since I said that on this channel, Montiel has done everything possible to try and prove me wrong. I have to say, he's got a big mistake in him. And I think, look, let's be honest about Williams, right? He is an average defender. He's an average defender, but he doesn't seem to be as mistake prone as Montiel. And my God, he's a danger going forward. He is a serious danger going forward. Clearly should have had a penalty, but obviously he made the second goal brilliantly. Got him behind the defender, put in a very dangerous cross. So I think it's really actually difficult to see who was our best player yesterday, because all of them were so good, even the people that I'd given up on. So, I mean, the only thing I'd say in conclusion is hopefully this is not a one-off, right? Because we now need to follow this. I don't see why we can't go and win at Villa. We beat Villa at home. Villa got turned over by Newcastle at their own ground a couple of weeks ago. We can do that. I would not change the lineup, right? Sangare needs to claim his place in the team. I would not change that lineup. That was so good. And, you know, it's all very well to say West Ham were poor. No, we made them look poor. Look, we've made shit teams look good this season. We've made Burnley look good. We've made Burnley look good. We've made Luton look good. No, we didn't make Sheffield look good. They really are shit.
We did. We made them look half decent.
But honestly, we made West Ham look shit. That was down to us. We defended with the whole team. They didn't, and that Antonio chance, that was the best chance they had, and he didn't even get the shot off. Right. So that's why I wanted to come on. I've said everything I was going to say. So,
Rob, thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time.
Rob, the real question is, Rob, why didn't your election speech sound like that? You'd have had more votes, man. Cujo's going to vote for you.
In the election, there's usually like 100 Labour people booing me, so I can't actually hear the boos.
Just go, you Reds, man. You Reds, isn't it?
I was going to say, Rob, with a speech like that, you should have run for election.
Well, those days are behind me.
I kind of agree with a lot of what you
say very quickly, though, the comparison with Walker's a good one. That tackle yesterday was a Walker-type tackle where he just... I always said Des Walker never tackled. He just took the ball off the opposition. You know, he had the pace, the brain, the talent to just do exactly what Murillo did yesterday, which was run at the side of him, wait for the right moment, take it off him. And you say it may have been underappreciated. Trust me, I only saw it once, and that was at the ground, and it wasn't under
not in the ground. It wasn't, certainly not.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, wow, you know. That's why the crowd immediately sang, "You'll never beat Murillo," because everybody, it must have just clicked straight away. Yeah. So,
but on the Des Walker thing, I remember Walker, but I don't remember Walker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just remember him being
it's not as good as Walker.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to ask you. Like, and then obviously I remember Walker in his second stint, and clearly there, and he was not in his prime.
Yeah, he's finished. He's finished when he came back.
Is he as good, or does he have the potential to be as good? From someone who probably remembers him better than most of the panel here.
It's really hard to say because we all have our memories, don't we? And, you know, if you've grown up worshipping a player and seen him play brilliant week after week after week for both club and country, it's very, you know, I'm not going to pretend that it doesn't affect you, your memory, you know, the nostalgia. Because for me, Des Walker was, somebody in the media, I think, mentioned it was like Bobby Moore. I think he was a West Ham fan or something. That for me,
surely you can't even remember Bobby Moore, man.
1970, yeah, I can. He got tucked in clink for when he was accused of nicking a gold bracelet. It was just shocking. That's why we lost to Germany 3-2. Otherwise, we'd have won and won the World Cup. Anyway, let's move on. So we all have those players. I mean, George Best, is he as good as Ronaldo? Is he as good as Anthony? You know, so we all have these memories of these great players.
What
I'm trying to say is I think Walker was in a class of his own, and Murillo is not as good.
It's not a fair comparison, but yeah,
he's only 21 though. He's got so much to learn, hasn't he? I mean, he's already our best defender.
His tackling is similar. Sorry, but his tackling is similar, but he has other parts of his game that are very different, like goal threat. That kind of thing, you know.
But his speed and his passing, his ability to play the ball, his ability against Villa, he's probably going to pick out people over the top of them, get it to the wingers from a defensive position. So he's going to be crucial in a game against Villa.
We'll talk about Villa, won't we, when we finish talking about this? Because I think we've probably all got a view on that. Yeah,
boys, we haven't even got started. Started.
But I was just going to quickly say that's probably the biggest difference. Des Walker didn't have a range of passing that Murillo's got. No chance. He was a good player.
Yeah, absolutely.
He didn't have that range of passing.
But there's nobody I'd want more than Walker as centre half for Forest. You know, it's.
He was Bobby Moore's teacher.
Oh, backhand. All right, let me just do a couple of quick super chats, and then I want to talk about Felipe. We'll work our
All
way
right, it's a
through the
moron.
line.
I don't have to respond to that.
Noah, thank you for the 490. Sorry, I've read your one out. There's another one from you. So apologies. With the 499 again, Noah, thank you so much. My head is still healing because when we played Spurs, I had a glass bottle thrown at my head, but still going to every single home game with a bandage. Bro, seriously, was that from? Tell me that was from the away lot, not the home lot. Oh, dear. I hope you're all right, bro.
You weren't singing Cooper song, were you?
Did you get too close to
I did get elbowed when we scored the second goal. I did get elbowed in the head by Nottingham now and then. So yeah, I got some.
You shouldn't have stood up there, mate.
That's not as bad as when Sai punched me square in the jaw and his fingers went inside.
That was probably deserved. Sorry.
I was going to say, there's a
You know
lot.
what?
There's a queue.
I was thinking exactly the same.
There's a queue of them waiting. I moved on.
Yeah,
to
he wasn't
the
even
next
celebrating. He turned around and sucker punched me.
Maddock, thank you so much for the 15 months. You absolute legend. Appreciate it. And Catfish with the 18 months. You guys are doing an awesome job. Thank you.
That photo is even more catfish than the other
Honestly,
photo.
man, I thought Ant photoshopped photos.
You look like Arnold Schwarzenegger on that.
Okay.
Mark is a very attractive man. Stop pulling him down. He may not be a Felipe in your eyes and have the piercing blue eyes of Dominguez, but you know, he's a fine-looking young man.
Dominguez is his boy. Dominguez is his boy, man.
Mia is my boy.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, game recognized game, innit? You know, Photoshop recognized Photoshop. So that's why he's sticking up for him.
Luke, thank you for the 9 months. Jason, thank you for the 15 months. Tommy boy, thank you for the 15 months. Okay, so I'm about to launch the giveaway for the Upside Down City ground, but I'm not going to do it till we hit 200 likes. Sorry. So we're on 150 likes. There's nearly 500 of you in here. Wow. Get it up to 200, and then I'll tell you how to enter. It's ready to go. It's now up to you guys when you want to do it. Okay, Ant's been a member on a number of streams lately, LOL. Is there no inside thing here between you? I don't know.
Anyway, Bramble is that?
A bit cheeky. No need for that.
A little cheeky one there.
Calling you out.
No, with the 199. Thank you. It was a Spurs fan because he had a Harry Kane shirt. Oh my God, the curse of Harry Kane. It doesn't surprise me, man. If you want, I'll punch my brother for you. I'll punch my brother for you. And Jordan with the 6 month best team and best stream in the world. Thank you guys so much. I'm trying to keep up as best I can. Okay, I'll keep an eye on the likes. It's 171, not launching till 200. Crypto. You, me, and Ant was saying Felipe and Murillo as the centre back pairing, and Ez was crying about.
Whoa.
You wanted Joe Worrell.
Yeah, it is. You said it is. You said you wanted Niakate. Niakate's been out of form since he came back from AFCON. So you Ez owe me and Wolfie an apology.
Seriously, I'm not even going to waste time responding to that bullshit.
Yeah,
but you know what I said. You know what I predicted.
You don't need to apologise for having an opinion, do you?
You do if it's the wrong.
I won't apologise for getting it right again. I did say bring Felipe in, didn't I? And you fucking muppets.
Okay, but the question, Crypto, is Felipe the right partner? I think, are we all in agreement that Murillo is almost first?
I think everybody on this panel would like Felipe to be their partner, but yeah, for me, it's that apart from Ant, it's that Brazilian wonder duo. Felipe, the thing with Felipe is he's like the opposite of Murillo. He's got all of the experience. Is he 35? So he might not have the legs of Murillo, but he's got all of the experience. He's a brilliant
his legs as well, dear.
I mean, who doesn't? And maybe you don't, but everyone else does. He's the experience of Felipe, the defense, the tackles. Yes, he looks a bit slower than he used to be last season, but he's absolutely brilliant. And I think he'll be on the pitch shouting at Murillo, telling him what to do. Murillo can learn from someone like Felipe. It's like the apprentice and the master. And don't forget as well, Danilo is sat just in front of them. So it's like the Brazilian trio making their way up the pitch. I think it's the right thing to do. As long as he stays match fit, I would keep Felipe with us. As Nick's just said in the chat, he may not be here next season or the season after because he is getting quite old for a professional footballer. But for me, he's brilliant. I think just going back to Niakate, he has been good earlier in the season, but since AFCON, he's looked a bit shaky for me. So for me, I'd carry on with the guys who are in form, and that for me is Felipe and Murillo.
Right? Just on this point, like I know you're cheating on Felipe with Dominguez, but I'm going to say something unpopular here. I'd drop Felipe for Villa.
I'm not going to disagree.
Who's Villa?
I said this.
Called Villa.
That's
Like,
on my Balotelli's nickname.
I'm asking Ez here, right? Shut up, you lot.
Yeah.
Right, Ez.
So we discussed.
Would I
this
be
whole-
crazy to think that's the right thing to do?
No, not at all. Because I said the horses for courses. I said I probably wouldn't see Felipe as a long-term replacement, but I certainly would have. I would have had him in yesterday's game, and he did the job. And I think working with Murillo long-term is an option, because obviously there's that link, and I think he brings the best out of Murillo. I think he just calms him down as well, because Murillo has been a few times, especially in the previous game against Newcastle, and he did it a couple of times yesterday as well, but not as much. But gives the ball away in awkward positions as well. Always tries a Hollywood ball, and I think Felipe calms him down a bit. But I did say in our preview that I would take Felipe out for the Villa game. I wouldn't keep him in for the next game, and I would bring back Balotelli in for the Villa game. And I don't know if that's where you're going to go with it, but that's probably what I do. But at the same time, I understand the argument. Let me finish my point. I understand the argument that it's the first clean sheet that we've kept, certainly since Nuno's been manager in the league. And would you risk changing that? But I potentially would. So I would potentially change
But
it.
for what reason, Ez?
Horses. I don't think Felipe is a long-term answer. I don't think Felipe is a long-term answer.
We're in a short-term crisis, though. I mean, I would say that dropping Balotelli was harsh on him, because I think he played very well in the games he had. He didn't.
I agree. But what was the perceived threat? What was the perceived threat against? What was the perceived threat yesterday? It was set pieces, wasn't it?
Absolutely, that's exactly what I was coming to.
Strong header of the ball, and that's why I had Felipe in there.
So you look at the Newcastle game. You look at the Newcastle game. We've conceded 2 from set pieces. We haven't actually been, even though we've let in a lot of goals recently, we have not been letting them in from open play. It's all been from set pieces.
That was sorry, Rob. Honestly, that was the stat. Non-dead ball situations were about third in the table. That's what that was. Yeah.
So I think the key is organisation. And the thing is, as much as I would like to see Balotelli in there, because I think that him and Murillo are the future, you've potentially got Williams aged, I think Williams is 22, Murillo's 21, Tavares 24, Balotelli is 21. I think that's a pretty young back four. And I just think that having Felipe in there with that experience, that gives you the organisation. We did not look in danger from Ward-Prowse yesterday. And that is a massive, massive difference. And I don't know whether that's all down to Felipe, but just the chance that is the reason I wouldn't want to take him out for the Villa game.
You know
You're
what,
thinking
Rob?
championship. You guys are championship mentality. Sorry, go on, Crypto.
I was going to say this is a really weird stream because I've agreed with pretty much everything Rob has said tonight.
There's probably still half an hour to go.
Apart from that half and half scarf you've got on, I know the bottom half of the screen cuts it off, but
this is a European Cup winning scarf.
It seems like it's from then as well. Fucking no, it's faded.
it's gone like pink.
No, and this scarf also won us the playoff finals as well. There's a lot of history with this scarf.
But scarf wouldn't have. Oh, I should have known.
Not Samba. Wasn't Samba.
I agree that Balotelli and Murillo are the future of our defense. But whilst we've got Felipe in good form, why not utilize him throughout the season? He's not gonna be here for many more seasons. So while everybody's in form, we've kept a clean sheet. Why not go ahead and stick Felipe back in?
There is an argument for that.
You want that transfer of knowledge. You want that transfer of knowledge to Murillo as well.
You guys are so small-minded.
Can I say?
Yeah,
Balotelli and Murillo aren't the future of Forest at all, right? Because
why?
Because Murillo will be gone without any shadow of a doubt.
I'm talking the next
future on him.
Not
Secondly, when I made the case for Felipe before the game, I said the one word I said was leadership, and that's what Felipe brings. and Omobamidele doesn't bring, and that's fact of the matter.
He
I
was
agree
the
with you on
captain of
As a
Norwich.
kid.
He was the captain of Norwich.
Yeah, I know it was. That's not the Premier League, mate.
Yeah.
But
Right?
I'm saying that
Leadership's transferable.
Don't ever tell me what somebody's done in the Championship because it means zilch. It means
Really?
nothing. What you do.
Okay.
What about Morgan Gibbs White for Sheffield
It's a bit
United?
harsh
Yeah.
on Omobamidele to say he's got no leadership.
And
skills if he's
Samba,
captain.
Morgan Gibbs White,
So
Jono,
you're saying, wait. So you're saying that because
Alex
a
Scott.
player played 5 games as captain for a struggling team in the Championship, he should be he's a Premier League leader. Come on,
I'm saying
give
he's
him a
got
chance.
leadership
You're putting
skills.
so much pressure on him. Give him
So
a
when
chance to learn the
Keane
game.
joined
Not ready
Forest,
yet.
when Roy Keane was at Forest, was he a leader?
Yeah, Roy Keane was a generational talent. Come on.
Yeah, he
Let's
was.
be
But
honest.
he was young. But he was young.
No, he was different.
You're expecting
can't
far
compare-
too
yeah.
much of a 21-year-old that's just come out of the Championship.
Exactly.
He's
You talk
delivered.
about him being a leader and captain.
He was
and
he was
teacher. Let him
he was
play.
once in a generation, like Ant said. He was like a
Oh,
Gerrard.
who's that twat that just put up there? I don't like that. Put that twat back up.
Hey, that one.
Right, listen, fucking idiot. Don't come out with base insults to people. If you disagree with what I've got to say, come up with a counter argument. Don't be a prick, right? Now, fuck off. We don't
Okay.
need your sort.
All right, let's calm it down.
All right.
Let's calm
And
it down.
the
Right,
point
so
Rob's making,
he's
and
got
I'm
leadership qualities. And for me, against Villa, I want somebody that's got leadership qualities. I don't want to put a kid in. Okay, that's just my opinion.
you're missing
That's just my
you're missing the
opinion, mate.
point.
I'm allowed to have my opinion. Is that allowed on a show
Yeah,
about with us all about opinions?
We don't
It is,
disagree.
but you can gotta
also
be able
said
to
this
take
point.
some arguments back. You gotta take some arguments back and not just be a
Yeah.
crybaby.
Yeah, arguments I don't mind, but just
Or
flat
do some
saying you're a
super chats
pillock.
and then respond
Shut
to
up,
it.
you
Wolfie.
pillock.
I didn't call you a pillock.
No.
I called you a prick.
I don't mind you calling me a prick.
Anyway, back to the point, right? Back to the point. Have you never heard the phrase "leaders are
Fucking keyboard
born"?
warriors make me sick. Come and see me down the City Ground. I'm down there outside the fan zone every
Whoa,
home game.
okay.
Come and see me
Oh,
Well, I
there.
don't want to be
alright.
there. I'll meet you later.
All right. Anyway, Ant, you've heard the phrase "born leader." Leaders are born. All this stuff. Leadership is an inherent trait. It's an inherent trait. You're born with
yeah,
it.
You know, I agree with that. I'd agree with that. Yeah,
Okay, so why can't Omobamidele be a born leader?
he can be, but not yet. He's not going to be a leader yet.
Well, he's been born, hasn't he?
Okay, whatever. I don't care. I just don't care.
Anyway, you're missing.
Yeah,
You're
I
missing.
find it difficult to argue with illogical arguments. I find it difficult.
How's it illogical? How you can't say? Well, okay, when does
Because
Omobamidele become a leader?
What has he shown to you? By the way, I'm not a hater. I hope the guy has a fantastic career and becomes a leader at Nottingham Forest. He could be the future at Forest. I said Murillo won't because he'll be gone. Okay. But what have we seen so far to suggest that he's a leader of men? I've seen nothing.
His track history record, as Rob said, captain at Norwich. These are all things like
How many
Murillo.
games was he captain? How many games was he captain for Norwich?
I don't know. I ain't gonna watch
We'll
Norwich.
find out.
Man.
Before you come with an
Yeah,
order,
Sofa
we'll find
Store
out.
open.
Someone check
Oh,
Sofa
wait,
Store. How many?
I'm gonna side with Ant. I think if you're a leader, you've got to have experience with the rest of your squad. I do believe that if you're
No,
slightly
you
older,
don't.
you do, because you've got to have the respect of the players around
Okay,
you.
so Forest signed Virgil van Dijk tomorrow. The next day, Virgil's not a leader,
He's
is he?
earned it.
He's a
earned it,
leader,
mate.
but I
No,
wouldn't
he
be a
just
leader.
said you gotta know your squad and whatever
Wow.
you just said there.
Part of it,
Talk
it
about
helps.
type,
It
man.
helps.
Yeah,
It's not
but
what he said.
he's got the experience. Omobamidele, although I think he's a good player, he hasn't got the experience of someone like Felipe. Felipe has got 34 years of footballing experience. He knows the squad. He's respected in the squad. And, you know, I also believe that the Brazilian side of things does help because, you know, he's from the same country as Murillo, speaks the same language perfectly. So there's definitely something
Nuno
about...
Tavares.
Yeah, but Nuno Tavares isn't going to be a leader, is he?
No,
I mean,
but
maybe he could be like a manager in a dog's care home, but he's not going to be a leader on the football pitch.
Anyway,
You're not
we're-
missing
we're-
the point. No one's saying make him captain tomorrow, yeah? But you can't say someone doesn't have leadership traits. That's the point we're making here, Rob, yeah?
Yeah, traits. Yeah, I
Right,
agree.
let's look at it another way then, right? Basically, we're saying who would you? Let's forget all the stuff around it, leaders and age and experience. All that. Who would you prefer to play against Villa? For me, it's Felipe. That doesn't mean that I think you're an idiot if you say I'm Bamadelli. That doesn't mean I think you're an idiot if you say Niakate. It's just, in my opinion, this is where people get wrapped up. They get onto because you've got an opinion that's different to theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said I'd like Felipe.
That's what you're doing.
Because I said that maybe because I said that Felipe is a great leader and I love the guy. I think he's a fabulous defender and I think he's dependable. That doesn't mean that I think Bamadelli's shit. I love Niakate, you know I do.
Right, and
you know,
what you said that people are disagreeing with is that Omar Bamadelli has no leadership qualities. You said that.
What people? No. Yeah, maybe it came across as that. What I meant to say. Maybe I got a bit.
I think this is a violent agreement. It's a violent agreement because I said Felipe should play against Villa.
Personally, I haven't seen any evidence of that as yet, and that is not a bash against Omar Bamadelli. You know,
he's a young lad coming
he's a very young
team.
boy who's brand new to the Premier League.
Yeah,
I wouldn't expect him to come in and
but this is missing the point. So you're saying basically this is the argument, right? You're saying Felipe in for experience and leadership. What me and Ez are saying, I don't know if Ez will agree with this. I look at Villa and I see pace in their attack. I look at Felipe and he's missing half a yard for me. And I love Felipe. You've accused me of something with Felipe. I'm not confirming or denying it, right? My point is now, Nuno wants this squad. And if Forest just keep putting out the same 11 week in, week out, you're going to get found out. People are going to analyze more videos, more trainings. What?
It's only been one game.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying this squad has different, each player now brings a different element to what they can give to the team. Felipe, I agree Felipe brings leadership, yeah? But what I don't agree is Felipe hasn't got the pace. If you look at the cup game against Bristol, they got in behind him a couple of times.
Why does he need pace? Villa will be attacking us. Trust me.
Because Villa have pace, man.
You don't need pace if you're playing a lowish block. You don't need pace, mate. You don't. You only need pace if you're on the front foot and you're far up the pitch.
Cooper's not in charge anymore. We're not low blocking.
Van Dijk's not fast.
Against Villa. Have you seen how Villa play football?
Yeah, but I agree. Villa are playing a high line, right? We can play a lowish block and then break against them. If we've got Alanga and
Cooper block.
Yeah, okay.
But he hasn't necessarily got that much ground to make up against Villa, is what we're saying in that particular game.
Yeah, but what me and Ez are saying is that there are alternatives because if you look now how Forest are playing, Murillo's going into the opponent's half. Felipe's going quite high as well. Yeah, there are times. Look at the mistake he made against West Ham. There was only Murillo and Tavares left in our half. And I'm good with that because it's showing attacking intent. However, if you do that against Villa, because he was up against Antonio. Now, as much as I used to love Antonio and then hated him when he left us, you put that against the pace of a Watkins or someone like that, we're in more trouble. Murillo or not. That's the point here. As you
think that Omar Bamadelli is going to be that guy?
I didn't say Omar Bamadelli. I'm saying Niakate.
Against Villa, we can go all out attack. It doesn't matter if we leave him back because he'll be able to get back against Watkins.
I'm saying Niakate. But go on, Ez.
I'm saying Omar Bamadelli, but for those reasons, the pace reasons, I just think they're going to be better on the ground as well. Their attack, their threat is going to be different to West Ham's threat. And like Rob quite rightly said, we kept them to a minimum. You know, even when they did get set pieces, we defended them really well. But that was the game plan, and Nuno quite clearly said it. We knew what we were up against, and we accounted for it, and that's why I believe he brought Felipe in. But for the same reason, looking at the way Villa are most likely to attack us or look to attack us, we need pace in that backline. And for me, it'd be on Bamadelli, but I can understand why he'd say Niakate. But I do think he'll make a change there. I'm not saying that you should have to, because it is good to have that clean sheet and that togetherness. But I think Nuno will do that throughout the season. There will be horses for courses. I know it's a cliched saying, but it will do horses for courses. He's ruthless like that. So I do expect. I wouldn't be. To put it this way, I wouldn't be surprised.
Is there not a case for keeping a settled back four? Haven't we done enough?
Not always. You play the best back four that's available to you, I think.
But
my only point is, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a change in that in that centre back period.
And I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset if I'm a Bamadelli or Niakate were in. I wouldn't be upset. I'm just saying
we're
my
arguing
preference is for Felipe.
I agree. We're arguing off good things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This
I know,
isn't
that's the
freaking
thing, isn't it?
why is Worrell still in the team? Why is Yates still in the team? This is
We haven't mentioned Matt Turner yet.
exactly. I'm saying these are nice arguments, as you know,
Yeah.
as heated as they do get. They're nice. We got to take a quick break just to do some
I got a
super
bit
chat.
carried
Now,
away because that pissed me off. That idiot pissed me off. So
Yeah,
I got a
ignore
bit-
it, Ant.
There's
Don't
still the
respond.
Sangare discussion to have.
that's going to be fun. Wait, just before we get there, so I put the poll out to the chat. 64% are saying Felipe.
Yeah, well said.
Now they're happy with the poll, are they?
Fine, I'm not
15
against. I applaud that as well. I'm not against it, but I just think he'll make a change.
15%
You know what?
saying I'm a Bamadelli. 7% saying Bolly. Poor Sai, he's probably on his on now. 14% saying Niakate. Now, we've got a crap load of super chats to get through. What we're going to do, guys, keep your super chats coming in. We'll take a break every 15 minutes, get through those. We're not going to miss any out. I just don't want to break the flow of the conversation. So, Stephen with the £2, Tellerman. Yeah, I made him happy. Yeah. Thank you for the £2, Stephen. Adam with the £2. Thank you so much, buddy. Murillo, top 10 centre back in the league, top 5.
Take the zero off. Take the zero off that, and you'll be right.
Top one.
By the way, you could call me what you like if it's in a super chat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you want to abuse, man.
Get your super
you want
chats
to call
in.
me a pillock?
What's the
Jeff,
minimum
you
price
wanna
of a
abuse
super
that?
chat?
If you want to abuse Rob, just put it in the super chat.
It's going to be a 10p super chat.
You can't. The minimum. What's the minimum? 99p. Guys, don't be
Noah with another $4.99. Noah with another $4.99. Just remember this 40-year-old guy looking at me because I called him a smug tosser, then just get a bottle at my head and in a hospital bed the next morning. Rob, I know exactly what Spurs fans are like. I grew up with one. Yeah, so you have my deepest sympathies, bro. Thank you so much for the $4.99. No, as a Spurs fan. Sharky with a £2. Having said that, Ant is great. Proud to know him. At least there's one person, Sharky. At least there's one person. Yeah, maybe you've had a few too many already.
Yeah, too many meds, mate.
Yeah. And then Mikey with the £2. Nico's work rate yesterday stood out to me. Have we got time to talk about everything? I do want to talk about Nico because I think people are getting slightly ahead of themselves on it. But let's just get the other couple of super chats there. Wazza with the £2 super sticker. Thank you so much, Rowan. And he was in the stands with you guys, and you guys were so impolite that you didn't stop and say hi to him as an.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we should have picked him out. He should have picked us out. He should have come over. We're not, we're not unapproachable. He is, but I'm not. You can come and say hello to me, and I'll introduce you to him.
The other way around, Ez.
Warren, next time you're in the same stand at them, just all you got to do is go, "Oi, pillock," and they'll turn around. Lucky Robot with the £2. This is a donation to Ant's blood pressure tablets. He's going to need more than just £2 worth, bro. Thank you all so much for the super chat.
The guys will tell you, I do calm down very, very quickly. It's like...
Anyway, right, just very quickly, well done. There's over 500 of you in here. We've hit the 200 likes to win this beautiful city ground. It's always upside down. Let me turn it around. Right, all you have to do now, it's live. Go to the community tab. I'll put the link in the chat. Let me just get it for you. Go to the link to Foco, go and look at the listing. And in that listing, through that link, it will tell you how many pieces are involved. Look how beautiful that is in there. And then just put your answer in the comments on the community tab. The link is in the comments right now. In fact, I'll even pin it to make your lives a bit easier. Go and click on that link and get your correct answers in there. We will also put this on Twitter and Instagram. You have to be following us on there. If you enter on Twitter and Instagram, we'll do that probably later or tomorrow. You'll be doubling or tripling your chances. Okay, so get your entries in there, and we will draw the winner sometime later in the week.
I'm liking these super chats that are coming in. I especially agree with Chris's.
Well, let's go with Noah's
Cool,
first.
bring it on. Bring it on. You paid your
Hey,
money.
you want to scrap with me, you pillock? Noah, he'll probably bottle you, bro. Thank you for the 199.
No,
Thank
yeah,
you so
Noah,
What they don't realise is that Ezra's my bodyguard. That's what they're not figuring in.
that's why you're an easy target, bro. I'm ducking, mate. And I don't have to
Because
do
you're
it
literally
twice.
a bodyguard,
I
aren't
just
you?
want to
Yeah.
say to Jeff, I've seen some things in the comment. Jeff, don't worry, mate. I just get a bit. Obviously, it's a bit too close to the truth for me, so it kind of gets me going. So don't worry about it, mate. We're all good. We're all good.
Chris, thank you so much for the 2 pounds. I'm loving his abuse. I'm not gonna lie. Shut up, Angie Pillock, LOL, because I get to read them out at him, and he can't say anything because you lot have paid for it. So thank you very much, Chris. Favorite super chat of the night so far. Keep those ones coming in. I'll cut the stream off just to annoy him. Anyway, right, let's. Should we talk about Nico Williams or move into the midfield? We've got a lot to talk about here.
We're not talking about Nuno
We should
yet.
give him a shout. We should give him a shout out, both of them, shouldn't we?
All right,
Nuno.
shout out. He played well. I want to see a run of games before I'm fully convinced that he is Neo, the one.
I would
Everyone
say
agree with that?
he's more of a
No,
player
you said
for the
same thing
home
about
games.
Nuno.
He's more. I mean, we've got Aina potentially that can take over. If I was playing a top 6 team away, I would probably want Aina in because we're going to spend more time defending. But for the home games, Williams bombing forward is deadly. So you've got 2 good players there. I'm just wondering now, can we pick Montiel again without having to buy him, or is he basically frozen out now? Right, because
He's got to play 50% of the remaining games from January for us to have to buy him.
so
Is that Montiel you're talking about?
yeah.
He walked straight past us.
We were outside the ground, and Montiel walked past in his tracksuit, and me and Ez get more attention than Montiel got. I'm telling you,
It's true. It's absolutely true.
true.
Nobody stopped him. Not for a
nobody went up
selfie.
to, nobody said anything.
Well, that's because one of you's brown and the other one was swearing. I mean, it's going to attract
the chat
attention. man.
requested this. That's for you.
Okay, so I get what Rob's saying. Let's move. Let's talk about Tavares, right? I know Rob made some good points on him earlier. I got abused last week about what's his face, Tavares, when I said he was decent, and I never wanted him at Forest. But when I see a decent performance, irrespective of the player, you can call out a good performance. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah, but I think this week a lot more people who are, minds don't work as fast as me, have seen what I saw last week. And to be fair, what all you guys saw as well, right?
Mhm.
Is Tavares good enough to be a left back, both attacking and defensive now? I think, do we all agree with what Rob said about he created the space? Because I said that on the player ratings as well. Him being high gave Callum Hudson-Odoi options, didn't he?
Yeah. Listen, I said after the Brentford game that I want to see that partnership build between him and Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I've seen it get stronger and stronger. Even last week, mate, most of our opportunities came between their link up, and I think he needs that run of games, and I think defensively he has got better. I can't remember a moment yesterday, or even in the Newcastle game where he was at fault defensively. So I think defensively he's a lot more dependable. I still won't say he's solid, he's not, but going forward he's a massive difference, mate, and especially what he allows Callum Hudson-Odoi to do. And I can't remember if it was Crypto or Rob said it, it might even be yourself, at him moving into space, because Hudson-Odoi doesn't have that pace, but he does have that trickery. It allows him to get into the key areas. And there was a couple of times where I just wished Callum Hudson-Odoi had pulled that trigger as well, because he loves to cut in on his right foot, and he got him a couple of positions, but he just hesitated. And I'd like to see him a lot more coming in and having that shot. But I think they're working really well together on that side. And on the other side, I've got to say, Nico's really impressed me last couple of games. He earned that penalty. That was no doubt a penalty. We all agree. We're not even going to go into that right now, maybe later on in the show. And his touch to create that chance. So after Origi's little bit of magic, and you got to credit Yates as well for keeping that ball alive. He headed it on to Origi. Origi chested it, did his flick, and managed to get. What is he showing his hair for? And managed to.
Somebody in the chat says I wear a hat because I'm bald.
Oh, okay. You don't have to respond to the chat every time, man.
No, it's a super chat. It's super chat.
Yeah, okay, that's
thank
all
you,
right.
Noah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
199. And
That's
take
all right,
off your
Noah.
hat,
You keep abusing him. and
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I'm loving the abuse. Thank you again, Noah.
Yeah, Nico's touch to get away from Agard, making Agard look like a pub team player for a second, and he got inside him beautifully. And I'm kind of glad that, again, Elanga fluffed his lines at the near post and it came through to Hudson-Odoi, who had showed so much composure because it wasn't an easy finish. It was just that little back corner where he could have hit, and he took his time. And honestly, the roof came off the stadium. And that's the first injury time goal we've scored this season as well. So that's another bonus. Another one off our shoulders, but his composure there was fantastic. And
one of the biggest differences between Nuno, Santo, and Cooper for me is the players he chooses in regards to the attackingness of the players. Everyone on that pitch, maybe bar Felipe, but even Murillo, every selection he makes is an attacking player. They all progress the ball forward, including Danilo and Dominguez. Williams and Tavares. You can tell that he just wants to play progressive football. There's no one really in the side who's there to sit back and defend. Maybe Felipe, etc. But even Murillo goes forward, gets the ball forward out, gets the ball out wide. He's got us playing effectively wing backs as a 4-back, which is something Cooper could never do. When Cooper tried playing a 4-back, they were proper fullbacks. They didn't go forward. So it's such a massive difference compared to Cooper ball, and I think it's such an interesting watch as well. Because don't forget, obviously we all love Forest, but football is an entertainment sport, and at the moment Forest are definitely fielding some entertaining players. So I hope we keep it up.
So I'm going to put a poll out because a lot of people are still Tuffalo over Tavares. I want to get a temperature of the room from the chat to see, are they Nuno or are they Tuffalo now? Rob, do you see the case for Tuffalo? I think Tuffalo's decent, but where do you sit on this one?
He's a better defender. I like him. He's composed. He's a good dead ball player as well. Right now, though, I would say the chemistry of Hudson-Odoi and Tavares is probably the most exciting thing about the team. I think my only concern is if you're away playing one of the top teams, is it a bit of a risk having Williams and Tavares? You can definitely play both of them at home, but definitely when you got a player with the quality of Aina available, who, if we're talking about Aina of the first third of the season anyway, Aina was kind of on your player ratings. He was like man of the match about 4 games in a row, wasn't he? Nobody even knew who he was. If he can bring that form back, I think, you're taking a bit of a gamble having 2 attacking wing backs playing fullback. That is a bit of a recipe for losing 3-2, right? And we've done that 6 times now. So I think you've got to balance attack and defense. I don't want to go to Villa and set up defensively and try and low block it. It didn't work against Arsenal. We're not very good at going 90 minutes without at least one mistake. What I liked about the West Ham game is that we just kept them constantly on the back foot, and that's how we defended. Villa are a bit inconsistent at the moment, and I would like us to go out and go at them. But I do think it's a bit risky putting 2 wing-backs playing full-back on. And if it was a choice of the 2, I would probably keep Tavares in just because him and Hudson-Odoi is working so well, and people haven't worked out a way to stop that yet. Potentially, I would let Aina back in for Williams, but that's no criticism of Williams. And Williams, by the way, is a very good substitute. He's a very good sort of 70-minute substitute. He'll still have a role.
Versatile. He can go left, right, midfield. He's versatile as well. He can go left, right, midfield.
The tactics were masterful, really, when you think about it, from Nuno, because West Ham have just been slapped. Was it 5 or 6-0 by Arsenal? And we could have gone one or 2 ways. We could have sat back and tried to defend a bit, tried to catch them on the counter-attack. But instead, it was these guys have just been slapped.
Yeah,
the best
we showed them no respect, and that was good.
Yeah,
we showed them disrespect.
The pace in our team is our biggest asset. We can overrun teams, and they're not expecting it. If you go at them from the early on and just run at them, they're not going to expect that type of attack from early on. And I think it's really good football.
We could and should have won that game about 4 or 5-0, right?
100%.
Like at least with the penalty, but Elanga has had a hat-trick of chances that he's fluffed really quite badly.
Easy ones, Rob.
Yeah, I know. And the one that he's through on goal and skies it is unforgivable. And then I mean, God, he is frustratingly good because he basically did some of the worst control I've ever seen with one of the best volleys straight after it. But like, Elanga should have had 1 or 2 goals yesterday, and we should have had the penalty as well.
Morgan Gibbs-White.
Only Forest could dominate that much and make us sweat, right? Because we should have turned. They were due another 4 or 5-0 yesterday. They got off lightly.
But Rob, that's why it's good, because although we've fluffed some of those chances, we've still gone and won the game.
Yeah,
in the same way that if you
quality that I was talking about, Dominguez and Murillo.
What we need to do as well, which we did last game as well, is get to the point where even if we're making mistakes like the one Elanga made, it doesn't matter, because we're playing so well that we're taking our options to score. And if it makes a mistake, we concede, but it doesn't matter, because what we're doing is still winning the game. Even if there's a goal, we concede a goal. If we can get to the point where we're comfortably winning and we know we can score if we start pressing them, it's not going to be every time we attack, but every 4 or 5 attacks we score a goal, then you're in a pretty good stead for the rest of the season.
Yep. Okay, I want to move it forward because we still got so much to talk about. We've already been going over an hour. We'll do like another 30 minutes or so if you like.
Should we do a like count? Go
on, we're on 222 and 500 in here. That's nearly half of you that haven't pressed the like button. And we're meant to be getting 5,000 likes. So you guys have got work to do. So do hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you are new. Just before we get talking into the midfield, right? We just got quick another super chat here from Noah. You're gonna fund FFTV for the next 10 years at this rate, bro. Thank you so much for the 199.
Who let Jimmy
dogs out? New. P.S. Ant is hot. Did I just read that out without reading it in my head beforehand? So refund. Right, I just want to take a minute to talk about Nuno, the real Nuno. Okay, and it's something that Matt brought up yesterday about the triangles. Let's take a minute just to discuss his tactics. And I don't normally big us up, but I am going to big us up. Well, I probably do, but whatever. We did the video, and I'll say this one. I'm not giving these guys credit for it. It was me and Twist, right? After studying hours and hours of Nuno, looking at his tactics, how he's going to play, who's going to work with Forest and everything like that. And I'm telling you now, that video is one of the best videos we've done because it's right. Nuno is starting to implement his identity onto this team. And I'm not just saying it just because we beat West Ham. I'm also talking about the defeat against Newcastle. And some things in the Bournemouth game before that as well. But these triangles he's playing, guys, are extremely exciting. There's patterns of play with Nuno. And I'm not knocking Cooper. Cooper got us up and did what he needed to do, right? But it's the fact that we have style now. And are you guys noticing, as Rob was talking about, Tavares and Callum Hudson-Odoi pairing up, and then you had someone like Danilo or Dominguez being that baseline of that triangle. It's so lovely to watch. And the other thing I want to add in there, we are not lopsided. I've been complaining for 2 years. Give the ball to Jono last year. Yeah, play it over the top on the right-hand side. Empty space on the left. Year before, Spence and Jono on that side. Yesterday, it was exactly balanced. Attack down the right, attack down the left. And it just gives you more options across the pitch and makes you less predictable. But are you guys starting, as now that you're back, did you back? Did you hear what I was saying there?
Yeah, I'm back. I just caught the end of what that, so just give me what I was only going to say, only thing I was going to say, and this is why I was a little bit disappointed with everyone's mood last week, because this hasn't happened overnight. I've seen the progression since Nuno's come in, and as deflating as last week's result was, and obviously with a penalty and everything, I couldn't understand why you would have been down. But to get depressed when I saw so many positive signs, and I've seen these signs over the last few weeks.
It's just not getting the result, Ez. I was just depressed because we hadn't got the result.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, that's what was depressing us.
No, but I was invigorated because I could see what he was trying to do again, and I used the analogy of Bournemouth at the start of the season under Areola, and people were saying, "Look, he's from the outside, it looks like he was doing an awful job, but from the inside, you could see the game plan he was trying to instill, the style of play, the motivation within the players that he was trying to bring in, and eventually it's starting to work for them. You know,
they are trusting the process.
Trust in the process, basically, you know. But when you can see the process, you can trust in it. I didn't see any process under our previous manager. I'm sorry, I saw no progress.
You didn't trust him
in over a year. So he said all right, and I've criticized him on this before because I've met people like Steve Cooper in my lifetime as managers. They say all the buzzwords, but there's no substance. They're not actually backing it up with the action. So they're saying all the right things, but on the pitch there was no cohesion. But I'm seeing so many positive things, and Nuno doesn't mince his words, man. He doesn't waste words. Brit like Brian Clough got to a point, you know. Sometimes you had to understand the meaning of what he was saying, but he didn't waste words. So Nuno does the same thing. He means what he says and says what he means.
Have you noticed how the press conferences are getting shorter each week?
They weren't long in the first place.
Like 2.5 minutes.
And even the questions, you know,
there's some stupid
they were, weren't they? And I think he's probably fed that back. He's probably fed that back. And what's this crap that I'm being asked week in, week out? You know, that's irrelevant, and he won't take any shit. But when he's since he's been in, I've seen progression, and that's why I'm positive about where we are right now. I said at one stage, me and Wolfie said it, and maybe we were a bit too soon in saying it, but I was saying I don't fear anyone, and I don't fear these teams that we've got coming up either, you know, because if players keep progressing and keep listening to him, we will see the results. And even like I say, Villarreal, I'm not fearing. We beat Liverpool at home last season. I think this is they're on a bit more of a better form coming into this game, but still don't fear them. Why should we?
The only thing I fear is injuries. I don't fear any opponent. I just fear injuries because that's been.
We won't get injuries under Nuno, Rob. We will not get injuries under Nuno.
Rob, the 70-minute thing with Taiwo is so clever. You go out there, you play 100%, try and get your goal in those 70 minutes, but to keep you fit, we're bringing you off after that.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good tactic. It's sensible. He knows we've got a problem with backup strikers. You go out there and say, you lads here are coming off after 70 minutes, so give it your all, put 100% in. Whether you get no goals or 2 goals, you're coming off. It's more of a team environment. Cooper was trying to rely on individual players. He made Morgan Gibbs-White his captain early on. He played him in the wrong position. The whole team was built around him. Nuno's building a proper team where people can be switched in and out, but he's got everybody playing in that team mentality instead of this is the one person who's gonna keep us up or take us on to that next level.
And even when he made that change yesterday, it wasn't a straight swap in the sense that Origi didn't go up front. He came out to the right and he pushed.
Yeah.
He was probably saving Elanga's legs a little bit, which is why I probably would have liked to have seen Reina come on. But to be fair, Elanga had 2 of the best chances in that period. And if his composure had been better, we would have been easily 3 or 4 goals up. And kind of touched on it in the last in the preview that sooner or later a team's going to get a battering. It should have been West Ham yesterday.
Yeah,
if we had been a bit more clinical with our shots, man, we could have got 4 easily yesterday. And the goalkeeper made some cracking saves as well. If he's their man of the match, which I believe he was.
He was. Yeah, he was.
Tells you everything, doesn't it? Tells you everything. Yeah. So we were a little bit profligate. Go on.
I do agree with Jeff on that as well.
Yeah, I know, but we'll come to that in a second. But just on Nuno's thing, because the other thing is it's 4-2-3-1. I mean, we've only seen it change once. That was in a cup match.
Yeah.
But do you think that makes us too predictable, or do you think that allows the players to get used to a system and that system then flourishes and develops within it?
Yeah. I think that I don't think we should get too tied up about teams working teams out, because whatever you do, the opposition manager is going to have a plan for you. And okay, you might say, yeah, but if we all of a sudden change, but you know, your players aren't used to that system either. Then, I think you have to have a basic plan of the way you want to play. That obviously, as quite rightly pointed out, and I think everybody would, that you have to change it sometimes. Like, I'm going to bring Arsenal into it, but only from the fact that if you're playing against Arsenal,
not long enough. We're an hour and 15 in. Go on, sorry.
Yeah.
Carry on.
No dead jokes, Ed. No dead jokes.
Yeah, dead banter, mate. Yeah. Dead banter.
Dead banter.
If you're gonna, all right, let's change it. Let's say Man City. If you're gonna be playing Man City at the
Oh,
Etihad,
spice
you're
up.
not.
You could have said that anyway, couldn't you?
Last time,
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I was
pretty sure you
thinking
said
the
you're a
more
Man
recent
City
game.
fan
I was
last
just
time.
thinking of the most recent game with the current
Okay.
crop of players we've got. Yeah,
Sure.
but we'll pretend, right? We'll say Man City because we've not played them yet at the City Ground. I wouldn't expect us to play the same way that we play against West Ham, for example. So yeah, you do have to have all sorts of courses, both in personnel and in formation. But I think you need a basis that is your way of playing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to have a way of playing, don't you? You have to have a style. Under Cooper, we had a style, sort of, but it wasn't a very nice style.
No.
We can definitely see a style under Nuno.
Mm.
And I think he's got the ability to.
Can I just interrupt?
To do that?
Can I interrupt you on 1 second? I'm saying this genuinely. I'm not saying it as a joke. I think Cooper's style would fit a club like Sheffield United, who need to stop. They need to get points, but realistically, they're not going to overturn teams. But they need to stop conceding so many goals because a team like them are falling
You're
apart.
absolutely right. Yeah, Crystal Palace the same. I would say they're set up for Cooper, really. You know.
Yeah.
Can I just? It's my day for being wound up today. Can I just look, people? Right. I have a glass of wine. This is it. See the size of that glass. That's how much I've drunk. Okay, so don't keep saying you need to take a break from drinking and that. No, I have a glass of wine. I know, but
And you love biting.
For some reason, it's because I came in such a happy mood, and I get people in the chat saying nasty things about me, and I don't need it, you know.
And I'm sure we say nasty things about me, but I let it ride.
Are we touching on?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. I'm definitely too touchy tonight. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I need a kick.
Look, just to close up on Nuno, what I'll say is I've heard as well, good sources, right, that he is extremely confident with what he can do with this squad. He likes his squad, okay, and that's important. But what's more important than that is the squad believe him when he's saying that as well. And I'm not saying this. This is coming from good sources, right? And that just fills me with pure confidence. It really does. So I'm very excited. Right, let's take a quick seconds break just to catch up with the super chats. Jordan with the 17 months. Thank you so much, Jordan. Love you, bro.
Well
You're
done,
a legend. More messages for Ant. Forest Hood, £2. Thank you so much. Some love for Ant. Reminds me of my dad. Bro,
You're a very young
I bet your
dad,
dad doesn't swear as much as him.
I hope you're only 7.
Call him Daddy Ant now, yeah?
I am the daddy.
Weird, man.
You know I'm the daddy.
No, I had to go to sleep. Thank you again so much for the 199 hour. Guys going to sleep because got work. Crap, I got work tomorrow as well. Thank you so much, buddy. And the beautiful Stuart Pearce alongside Will. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. I flashed up the 5 gifted, so make sure you show the legend that is Will some love in the chats for those of you who got it. And Emma, thank you so much for the 5 months. Right, just a quick reminder on the City Ground competition. If you want to win this, it is now live on the community tab. Go to the link, it's pinned in the chat, and answer the simple question of how many pieces make up the City Ground in that puzzle. And there's already been about 40 entries. You guys are not messing around when it comes to a freebie, are you? If there's anything else you want from the FOCO website, for example, a bottle of Happy Clapper juice, just like mine, it's all official and licensed. Nottingham Forest, like Ez's mug as well. Use code FFTV for 10% off.
Your mug.
Yeah, I thought
He is a mug. Use code FFTV for 10% off. And that will cover your whole basket. So if you've got a son like me who supports Arsenal and you want to buy them some Arsenal crap, or if you have a so-called friend like Ant who supports Arsenal and you need to buy him a half and half scarf, you know, that will all count towards a 10% discount at the end. And Tony the Legend, thank you so much for the 13 months, buddy. Hope you are well. Okay, let's move into the attack, because we've still got a lot to talk about.
Can I say one thing on Nuno first? Because I didn't get a go. You didn't finish the Nuno discussion.
Apologies, you may, Rob. I could talk about Nuno all night.
full credit to Nuno for his yellow card yesterday. I thought that was fantastic. He's not here for a paycheck, right? He could have stayed at Al Ittihad for that, right? He gives a shit, right? He wants to do things here, and that endeared me to him more than he probably realizes. Just, I mean, how many more penalties are we going to be denied? And he was boiling. He was boiling with rage.
So was I.
Yeah, and I think people are going to sneaky like him for that, actually. So, did the previous management ever get a yellow? I think Tate got a yellow card, didn't he?
Always let Tate take
it. Sorry to butt in. You were changing the subject, but I just wanted to give full recognition to Nuno. Congratulations on the yellow card. I thought that was.
Are we all agreeing that it was a penalty, right? If you tread on someone's foot,
100%.
It was a pen. I think it's just the way that he went over. Just looked.
No, Rob, don't, mate.
It was a pen. It was a pen. It's just
hold on, Anne. Let him finish, and you can come in, Anne. Hold on, Anne.
Those idiots involved.
Hold on, he can come in.
Oh, Anne.
From the angle that the referee saw it, it looked a bit like he kind of went flying after the contact was made. And I think the referee had committed himself to that decision and wasn't going to really ask VAR to overturn it, right? So I think the ref, even though it was VAR'd, it was only VAR'd after we stopped the game, by the way, because the ref didn't say, okay, let's go to VAR. We had to fucking stop the game, and Nico's still lying down. We had to stop the game and say, look, are you going to VAR this shit or what, right? Which is, I didn't think it was supposed to work like that. But I think the ref had made an intuitive decision just because Williams, after the contact is made, there's like microsecond delay. And then he seems like he's launched himself a little bit just because of how he actually went flying. But the contact is clear as day. It's definitely a pen. But I think the referee has mentally made his mind up, and he had to be dragged to even let VAR review it. And he was just going through the motions. He had no interest in was it actually a pen. He'd already made his mind up. So I think that's kind of how it played out.
It won't matter next time because Clattenburg will just drop them a WhatsApp and say, "Come on, lads, I'm tied to a chair in Marinakis' office. My family have been kidnapped."
No, but again, VAR should have got involved.
Sorry, I jumped in there, Rob. I thought you were going to try and defend the decision for a second.
No, I think it's
that's why you got away, Anne. That's why you got away.
The ref has had. The ref is the angle that the ref has had, and I think he's just gone. Oh,
I often don't blame the referee, Rob, because he has not got the angles. You know, he can miss things. There's no excuse for VAR. There's none.
Yeah, VAR has no excuse.
Eds will tell you how was I? I said, calm down, lads. Come on, it's a penalty. It's so crystal clear. I'm not even concerned. It's such an obvious penalty. It will be overturned by VAR.
Why was it we had to stop the game to get VAR to intervene? I still don't.
You have to wait till the breaking point.
Carry on.
No.
I was like, I said, I must have misseen it. I can't have seen what I saw, but I did. You know, that is shocking. That is shocking.
The referee was shocking.
Really bad. That they didn't go penalty for such an obvious foul. He trod on the outside of his foot, which made him go down. It is so. Why would he have gone down otherwise?
Yeah, I was giving the guy some stats. His name's Thomas Bramall. He trained in a Sheffield Academy. Yeah.
Who's ever called Thomas? Oh, what a name.
The Bramall bit, yeah. So I was like, we're off to a bad start anyway. But him sending off Calvin Phillips didn't make up for his errors. He was awful yesterday. He was really bad.
Terrible.
But, you know, that first shot that Elanga had when Nuno crossed it into him, he did nothing. I don't know why Kufal ended up on the floor, but he stopped the play, and then they didn't pass the ball back to us, did they? From a restart, so that already got the crowd up, and it happened again in the second half. And I think it was after that attempt, where after that penalty shout, that again the play was stopped eventually because Nico was still on the floor, wasn't he? He stayed down after the after the tackle. But again, they didn't give the ball back to us. It was either way. There's no excuse for VAR not to get involved in that. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. Some of the penalties, even this weekend, saw was it the Newcastle one where he was dragging him into the box and he was technically offside.
Yeah, what was that? I don't understand that.
I still don't get that. But when it suits them, the rules get changed, and they spent 4.5 minutes doing that. Last week, they spent less than a minute on a Taiwo penalty appeal. And this week, again, there's probably only a couple of minutes before. And again, I'm going to stop saying it now because I said referees start walking towards the monitor. I'm going to stop saying it because it just doesn't happen. But both penalties, last week and this week, both times we were in line with it. And straight away, even on first sight, we said that's got to be a penalty or it's got to be, VAR's got to call it.
I must have missed seeing it or something. I can't believe, it couldn't have been what I saw. I'll wait till I get home and watch it on video because it can't have been.
They should release the comms after because it's unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
I know it's been going an hour and a half and we want to move on to the attack, but it'd be good if we could briefly talk about Sangare before we move into the attack and maybe Reina too.
We're going to get into an argument here. I can feel it.
Well, no, let's finish up talking about the players from yesterday.
Either of them contributed anything yesterday, if I'm honest.
The attack. Let's talk about the attack.
I thought they're both brilliant.
All right, let's talk about the attack. Right, let's kick it off with Elanga. Let's go to Elanga first. Right. Why can't he finish when he can finish? That's just really annoying. It's how many chances. Like, that could have cost us, boys. That really could have cost us. It wasn't just him. It was Morgan Gibbs-White as well. Morgan Gibbs-White has now done it in back-to-back matches on a chance where you expect your marquee player to put it in as well. That one in the first half was easier than the one he missed against Newcastle for me, Morgan Gibbs-White. Elanga's first one was just as easy. Both of them just hitting it straight at the keeper.
No, I think the first one that Areola saved with his feet. I think that was actually a good save because it was
right at him. It was right at him.
It wasn't. He had to go to the side to get his foot on.
Yeah, but he didn't have much time to turn and shoot.
Yeah, I think that was a good effort and that was a good save. But Morgan Gibbs-White one kind of stuck under his foot, wasn't it? It was when
a little bit.
It is straight at him.
Dominguez slipped, didn't he, when he was about to take a shot?
You can't expect them to put it in the top corner every shot, though, can you? I mean,
I expect him to not hit the keeper.
Yeah, a few did go at him.
No, either side.
I watched it. Just to say, the Morgan Gibbs-White shot, I watched it in slow motion. He doesn't look up. He doesn't look at the goal. He just looks at the ball. So when he's shooting, just on that occasion, he doesn't know where the goal is effectively.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Look
And the
at
other
it.
Elanga one was the one where his first touch took it up and then he volleyed it. That was a good strike, and that was a good save as well.
No, that's not the one, Ez. That's not the one. One I think
I know which ones you're on about. He had two gilt-edged.
The one where it got crossed in when we were 3-on-1.
Yeah, he should have tapped that in.
And he balloons it. That was the worst one, man. There was no composure there.
Yeah, there was another one from across as well.
Yeah,
Danilo's strike was class.
But can I just say before we start arguing this, I think we'll all agree on this. It's good to discuss missed opportunities. It's been, under this management, we're actually creating with 19 chances, 8 on target. Come on, man, that's like utopia right here. But we still got to discuss it. You know what I'm saying? It's still worth the discussion.
But we mustn't lose sight of the fact that it was a fantastic performance. There were some magnificent periods of play, some beautiful passing moves. We mustn't lose sight of that. But obviously, we're gonna look at things that we can improve on. I think
exactly
it's frustrating. I agree with Wolfie when he says you either get the best out of him or the worst out in the same game. Yeah. Good and bad in the same game.
It's like a positive negative, isn't it? We're talking about not winning by more goals,
exactly,
which is great, really, compared to where we were at points last season.
Exactly.
Just on a like count, we're like 30 likes off 300. So hit the like.
Well done, guys. Well
Still
done. 500
of you in here. You guys can do it. We shouldn't be telling you. We shouldn't be telling you.
Thank you.
But just on that point as well, just to touch back on the Nuno stuff. Something when I finally got to bed last night, I was lying in bed and I was thinking, do you know what? I actually feel now that when he's putting his lineup out, I may not agree with a person that he's picked in the team. Let's just say, for example, he goes Nico Williams instead of Aina. Yeah. But what he's doing different for me is he is not picking players that you should not be picking. Does that make sense? Like, you know, when Cooper would pick up Worrell or a Steve Cook or something like that, Nuno's picking someone who I'd be like, I'm okay with either one, but I would have preferred this one. Does that make sense? Do you guys feel like that?
I mean,
still, I said I don't mind if it's on Vandelli or Carter. I just prefer same thing.
And the clear one yesterday was that, and I know there's a lot of people who like him, but he didn't pick Yates. And look at the difference.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Look at the difference.
He's not beyond doing it because, I believe he made that mistake last week. I think Yates putting Yates in, but it might even be down to how long Danilo, because Danilo played the 90 minutes yesterday, didn't he? And it was
Dominguez came off.
Dominguez had to come off early.
But in all honesty, Yates is going to now drop down to fourth consideration behind Danilo, Dominguez, and Sangare, isn't he?
You know what? Even the commentator said about Yates that they couldn't afford to have him in because of the amount of free kicks he gave away. I don't know where I saw that. I didn't watch the match on telly.
No, but I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what, though. What he did yesterday is what we've been asking for him. That's his role. That's his role in the team. He actually won a free kick outside our penalty area and took the pressure off a bit. And like I say, the offside bit, he shouldn't have got involved. In hindsight, he didn't need to get involved in that shot at all. And we would have got the goal. But also, he did help with our second goal. So I'm not going to knock his performance yesterday because I think that's how we should be utilising him. And I think Nuno will do that going forward. So it's still a learning curve for Nuno as well because, like I say, that was a mistake last week, in my opinion. But he probably did it for the right reasons because Danilo didn't have 90 minutes in his legs. But yeah, going forward, I agree with you, man. I'm really positive with what he does on the pitch. And I do trust that even if we don't agree with his lineup, that he's done it for the right reasons. And he'll get the best out of the players who are on the pitch at the time.
Yeah, guys, we've got 9 more likes to 300 likes.
Oh, that'd be amazing on the live stream. That'd be amazing.
And just to add on this Yates thing, because I want to get Rob's take on it, because I haven't heard his thoughts on Yates for a while. That, for me, Yates doing those fouls and getting fouled in the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, that's when you want it to happen. Do you know what I mean? You want the game to be slowed down. You want to break the tempo of the opposition. And that's when he needs to be doing those fouls. And I think Nuno brought him on at exactly the right time. Now, I do think he was a bit slow with some of his other substitution. Minor criticism I have there. But Yates there did disrupt West Ham's play, did win us a couple of free kicks, you know, and that's his role in the team. You don't want that in the first 70, 75 minutes when you're starting to play this nice football where it will break your flow of creativity. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So what was your take on Yates in general, Rob?
Well, maybe I found the thing to disagree with Crypto on. I feel like now he's finally got rid of Worrell. Crypto has moved his crosshairs onto Yates.
Wait, just to defend myself, I 100% agree with Wolverine. You want to be playing progressive football, free flowing football. In the when you go 2 goals ahead, bring Yates on because he'll do the opposite to the opposition. He'll slow down the game. He'll foul people. He won't let people get past them because he'll take their legs out. That's fine. There's a position in the place for a position in the team for Yates. I've said it before. I prefer him as a substitute, and that is exactly the right time for him. In that case,
I think we agree. Then no argument. Yates.
We've agreed on everything. We've agreed on everything.
I know it's a hat trick. Yates does have a place in the squad, and we all agree what it is. I was at the Newcastle game, and I was incredibly frustrated with him because all he did was let people get past him, chase them, and then bring them down from behind. And it was just unbearable. It was just unfolding in slow motion. It's like, please, just stop. Someone take him off. So
he was disciplined yesterday, though, despite it just being a cameo role, and that's what we wanted.
I think he's watched the highlights of the last game and thought, I better not do that. And Nuno's had a word with him. So
that's good, though.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say about Yates is that we've been saying for about 5 years that he's not good enough to play at the level that he's playing at, and then he still does a job for us. So, he's not a starter. If we are discussing the midfield, I think that Danilo is really starting to come good in the last few matches. He's still got more way to go to be as dangerous as he was at the end of last season. But just to preempt the next discussion point, I would not take Danilo out and put Sangare in, I would be
Take us into it, Rob. We might as well segue into it. Go on.
I think that there's potentially 4 switch positions in the team where you can have a more attacking player or a more defensive player. Those are the 2 fullbacks and the 2 holding midfielders, right? So yesterday we had maybe our most attacking lineup, and then we've got Dominguez, Danilo, Williams, and Tavares. We've gone all 4, right? Now, for a game away against Villa where you might need to be a little bit more clever, you might want to go for 1 or 2 of those with a more defensive option. Now, obviously, I won't mention Mangala. Oh dear, I just mentioned Mangala, but we've still got Yates and Sangare. I think that I think it would possibly be a mistake to go with all 4 against Villa. The thing I was considering was maybe bringing Aina back in for probably for Williams. The only thing is, I wouldn't want to take Danilo out when he's showing signs of getting better with each match. And the thing I would say, I like Sangare. I'm not criticizing Sangare, but Sangare was not playing for Ivory Coast, so
he's injured.
Either way, he if he'd just come back having played a blinder in the final, I'd be thinking, yeah, he's on form. He pushes Danilo out on form, but I think he's gonna probably be a sub for me, and he's gonna have to show what he can do as a sub. I just don't think that. I mean, look. Should we forget what we paid for everybody, right? Because potentially 2 of our best signings this season, Aina and Hudson-Odoi, cost like less than 5 million combined, right? So I think the problem for Sangare has been the price tag hanging around him. I don't think he needs to get thrown straight in there. I would reintroduce him as a sub, and if he proves himself, then he's a starter. But I think it'd just be sad to take Danilo out when, I mean, his shooting was good yesterday as well. He wasn't just blazing over the bar. He was adding something. And, that none of those shots beat the keeper. But on another day, one of them could be spilled. Someone could tap in the rebound. You need someone that can shoot from distance. I mean, I potentially feel like he's more of a distance shooting threat than Gibbs White, for example. So, I don't know. That's what I think. You've got 4 switch positions. If you're playing away against a tough club, you maybe don't want to go attack because you're going to lose 3-2 again. So, but I don't know. I really feel bad to take Danilo out when last few games he's started to look like what we hope he's going to be.
Who agrees with Rob on the panel?
Yeah, I agree with Rob. I think.
Surprise! You and Rob, football friends.
You and Rob tonight.
While players are in form, what's the need to drop them? I think, look, Sangare arguably is I think he's going to become one of our best players in our team, but he needs to be fed back in the right situation. And whilst we've turned over West Ham, not conceded, and probably put in one of the best performances of the season, I don't think we should start chopping and changing it for next week.
Yeah, I agree as well. I think people are forgetting just how good Danilo was last season. Yeah, he's not quite hit the heights this season, but he's improved, and I thought he's excellent yesterday. In fact, I would say without doubt that Danilo's better performances for Forest have been better than Sangare's. I've not seen enough from Sangare yet. I am 100% confident that he will come good and he will be a superb player for us. But at the moment, I don't think it justifies him replacing Danilo. Danilo's getting better and better, and we all know what he can do. And I don't see why we would want to change it.
Yeah.
Ez, where are you on this?
I think I'm going to find it difficult. I think Nuno's going to find it difficult not getting Sangare back in. I think the price tag makes it an issue as well. I do agree that's something that's hanging around Sangare's neck, but I think I think Sangare's the number one, and he's going to come back in anyway. And Dominguez, you can't drop. Danilo, for me, we're seeing a side of Danilo that we hadn't seen last season, a much more disciplined defensive side. So at times, again, we talked about how our centre backs like to progress. He's sometimes the deepest player we've got, and he holds that line really well. And I've seen him. What I've seen more in the last couple of games, when I've seen him with Dominguez, is that they're linking up, and they are kind of like they are pivoting. So one's going and one's sitting, and that's working really well. So I'd be loath to change it, but I think Sangare has to come in and he has to stay in. So I can see Nuno bringing. Let me put it this way: I can see Nuno bringing Sangare in, and it probably will be for Danilo, and it'll be obviously Dominguez and Sangare starting for me against Villa, and I'm not against that happening.
If you drop a player who's in form, what does that say to the player? You can switch it the same way for, let's just say next game he swapped out Callum Hudson-Odoi for Reina. What does that say to Callum Hudson-Odoi? What would it say to Danilo if you took him out next game?
It says try even harder.
Yeah, it's for competition and team. No player should be expecting that just because they have had a good game, that we've already discussed taking Nico.
But don't you think you want to find it starting 11?
I talked about taking Nico Williams out, and Nico Williams got an assist and probably should have got a penalty yesterday. So, and you'd replace him with Aina. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said that. So,
Rob,
just because you've had a good game doesn't mean you have to stay in. And the competition is surely what the players should be expecting. So I don't think if that was the case that one of them was changed out, but dropping players, I think is harsh. I think he will rotate players. He'll have his core knit of players, and he will rotate them horses for courses. Will happen.
Is this his core? Or do you think Sangare is the core?
I think this Danilo Sangare thing is very delicate, because for me, if a player's played well, he doesn't deserve to be dropped unless the player coming in, is a far superior player and will be of benefit to the team. At the moment, I'm not sure that at this precise moment in time, bringing in Sangare will improve the team, having taken Danilo out. This is not to say I don't rate Sangare. I think he's going to be a fabulous player for us. But I think that Danilo is also a fabulous player, and he's playing well at the moment, and there's no reason to drop him. That's what I'm saying. Listen, if Sangare is in Danilo's out, I'm not going to cry about it. But at the moment, I think Danilo has the shirt, and Sangare needs to understand he's got to work his way back in.
There's no direct comparison, though, is there, for me? Because Danilo and Sangare are not really that similar. Danilo is very attacking, where Sangare
a couple of games ago, we were complaining about how poor Danilo was, and we said he's being played through. So you got to play him through.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you switch him out now, what does that say to Danilo?
It says that
you've played well.
I don't go along with all this bullshit about if you switch him out. You're a professional footballer. You work. As Wolvie says,
but if we're talking about your way back in, confidence,
the fact only if you deserve to be dropped. If you deserve to be dropped, then yes, you fight way back. If you don't deserve to be dropped, then that's where an issue can start.
Okay, let me make 2 points on this. Okay. Firstly, the word dropped, I don't think it's the right drop. I think rotating would be. I think Ez was going to make that point for a start. Secondly, we've got a midweek game coming up next Wednesday against Man United. That's going to need to be taken into consideration as well. Thirdly, my main point on this is Omar Bamadeli got dropped a week ago, and everyone was up in arms. Why did they drop him? Why did he drop him? Why did he drop him? And now everyone's like, Felipe Murillo is the pairing. Okay. There was a lot of people, right, who were up in arms. Let me just land here, right? So the point here is a very simple point. We are at the stage now where we're nitpicking who should be playing. Okay, we're not saying get goddamn Worrell out. What's he doing on that pair? I'm not picking on. Is the first name that comes to an example. It's exactly what Ant said. If Danilo plays, I have no problem with it. If Sangare plays, I have no problem with it. My preferred option is that Sangare plays because, yes, Danilo probably had his best game of the season yesterday. He has been inconsistent. Now, the argument back is Sangare has not shown his colors all season in the games he's played. My argument against that is he has played one time in his correct position at the 6, which was against Newcastle, and I think he was part of the reason we won that game. So that's why I would go Sangare. Now, Danilo, if Danilo stays, he better start consistently performing, because we are now at the stage, I feel, where this squad is exactly where Nuno wants it, barring 1 or 2 players. And if you are not going to be consistent, you will have someone knocking behind you, getting ready to take your position. This is a good problem. I just want to make that clear to the chat. We are arguing about good problems. No one here is pissed off if Danilo plays. I'm sure I can speak on behalf of the guys. No one is pissed off if Sangare plays. And if Sangare comes on and has a crap first half, then bring Danilo on, or vice versa. That's my say on it.
Can you imagine you having these problems?
The FA Cup point is a good point, because I think the reason why Felipe started yesterday is because he played so well against Bristol City. I know it's a different level of opponent, but you can see the class in a player when they get a full 90 minutes or so. But yeah, I agree. I mean, these although we're discussing them, everything's positive, really. You know, play 45 minutes a half if you want to see.
Also, now we've removed some of the bloat from the squad.
Yes.
It's important to remember that with most of these positions, someone's going to play 65 minutes and someone's going to play maybe half an hour. So it's just a question of who's playing the 65 and who's playing the 30. There's no real drop anymore. There's no one that's training with the under 15s or on loan, you know, getting ready for a flight to Olympiacos. So everyone's involved, and I think that's good. You know, but by shrinking it down a little bit, now everybody's involved, even Origi, which is, you know, it's because when you've got people that are frozen out, you've got a sort of toxicity about it. I mean, Vlachodimos has been having a moan this week, but leave him out. The rest are involved, and you know, I think people can also. I think they've got enough trust in the manager that if he does make changes, they know that it's for a tactical reason, in order to exploit a particular weakness or cover a particular threat in the opposition. Now, I mean, I'm not an expert on Villa's midfield, right? I know today they've played with McGinn and with Douglas Luiz in midfield. I don't know. There's some teams in this division where they've got that much quality in central midfield that you'd be more thinking about how do you contain that. So you'd be leaning more towards the Sangare than more what's the damage that Danilo can do against these teams. So it is a nice problem to have. But the good thing is now I feel like the manager has got everybody involved and isn't playing favourites anymore. And, you know, without bloating the squad, you haven't got people that are frozen out and are training with the under-15s and don't know why. So it is a much more healthy situation.
I think that's a great point. Do you know, again, I was lying in bed thinking about it. It was the first time we've been back in the Premier. This is not a dig at Cooper. It probably will sound like it. But like I felt like I could see what the problems were. Yeah. And I kind of felt, as just a layman fan, I could see what the solutions are. Now, when you look at Nuno, you think, no, he's right, I'm wrong. You know, Tavares, prime example. Nico Williams, prime example. And it's like, I'm just trusting him now. Look, before we carry on, we've got to catch up on the super chats. Thank you all for your super chats. Let's take a quick break. We've been going on for ages. Boys, shall we go for 10 more minutes? Is everyone okay for 10 minutes?
Yeah,
10 more minutes max, and we got to cook. I got work in the morning, so the boys. Tony, thank you for the 13 months. Sharky with the £2. Ez is a number one mug, but my type of mug. Cheers, Ez, he says. I agree with the first part of that statement. The beautiful Will with the £5. Thank you so much. Tell him to piss off, Ant. But do you want 3 points on Saturday or 3 pints? Only joking. Love you, man. Love you all. Ez, cheers, bro. You know why. Hearts. What have you've been offering some favors there, have you, Ez? Huh?
He's a lovely bloke. Red dog.
He is. He's absolutely cracking. Stephen with the £2. Thank you so much, bro. Mrs. tied me to the chair hours ago, then left me. Bro. Okay.
Just for those who can't remember, that was a Mark Clattenburg reference.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we are way behind on the super chats. I do apologize. Nikki, my bud, Nikki, with the 199, and you get a drink, mate. Sod the negativity.
Cheers, dude.
Drink away,
Cheers.
he's saying. Drink away. And DJ, thank you for the 199. Smile, we won. We are, bro. I've been. What I want to make clear to everyone is these are the kind of conversations that I enjoy. Hence why we're nattering on for so long, because we're talking about the nitpicking of how can we get even better, you know? And I love this. No one's sitting here moaning saying, oh my God, why did we do this? Why did that? It's, we did this, but can we adapt this? And these are the conversations I miss. These are the conversations I miss. Thank you so much for
if you'd seen us in the backstage before we came on, honestly, we were all so excited and so glad to be on tonight, you know, because it's been a while.
I've been looking forward to it all day. Vic, thank you for the 16 months, you legend. And Chris, thank you for the £2. Sangare needs to earn his spot. Danilo has. Interesting. Thank you so much, bro. And Greg, thank you for the 9 months. And Bill, thank you so much for the 15 months, buddy. And that brings us up to date. Okay, so the last couple of topics I want to cover off. We got to give some plaudits to Callum Hudson-Odoi. We haven't really given him a say yet. I thought yesterday and against Newcastle, he was sensational. Again, we've spoken. We don't need to cover off the whole Tavares link-up play and everything. But is he now looking like the deal? I think my stance, if I remember rightly, when we bought him, I wasn't sure about him, but even if he flopped, my mindset was it was 2 or 3 million quid. That's pocket change to the Greek father. But now, are we looking at it now thinking that was 2 or 3 million quid? Are you for real? And is this just a purple patch, or is it going to continue? I can't remember who I haven't gone to first. So who wants to start?
I'll just say it's 3 goals in 3 games. He's on form at the moment, and he seems to be a threat as well. And like I say, that partnership with Tavares is getting better and better. And I'm really stoked for him, because I think he's one of those that you could have easily he could have easily gone by the wayside with so many footballers of his era that didn't quite make it, and an injury has changed their career, and then they've not had that motivation to try and get back to where they were. We're seeing signs of it, and it was a bit more scattered, and we had to play him at times because we just didn't have any other options, and I think it worked in that sense. But now he's built up that partnership with Nuno. And I love the way Dominguez gets involved as well when he switches across to that side as well. I'm seeing so many positive signs. He needs a run of games for me. And to think that he's actually keeping Reina out. I think otherwise, if his bad run of form had continued, Reina would have been straight in. And I think it's going to be tough to get Reina in right now. At most, probably Elanga's position is more under threat than Callum Hudson-Odoi at the moment. So I'm really impressed by what he's doing. Keep going, mate. Keep going, because you are proving that was wrong.
The Tavares Cho partnership reminds me a bit like when Spence and Johnson were in their prime. That kind of link up down I know it's down the left hand side, but that kind of link up where you've got a pacey wing back who's running up the pitch and feeding the ball into the winger, who can either he's got two options.
How many times did we say he's dragging? Look how many plays he's dragging with him when he's making that run and opening up the space. But sorry.
But he's got 2 options. He can either then turn inside and shoot, or he can cross a ball in, and he's good at both. So I think it's a really good partnership that's definitely building. But yeah, I mean the Reina thing is a bit disappointing for me. I wouldn't drop anyone from the starting 11 at the moment, but I would really like to see Reina. He was effectively our so-called star signing. I know it was a loan, but he was our star signing in the Jan window, and we've heard from a lot of parties that he's absolutely brilliant. For those who don't know, I live in the same building as Reedy, and Reedy told me that in training he's absolutely brilliant, Reina. So it would be good to see him. I think my final point would probably be the FA Cup is where we're going to see some of these players: Sangare, Reina, maybe even people like Bolly, Aina, etc. I think it's actually really good that we're still in the cup, because that will give Nuno the time to judge the players. He's going to want to win, don't get me wrong, because he loves the FA Cup and it's against Man United, so we'll put a full squad out. But I think it's really good that we've got that opportunity to see some of these players get stuck in as well.
Could I just say
go on, Rob.
Yeah, I'd just say thanks, Anne. Just say how enjoyable it is to see Hudson-Odoi so pumped up. He really is enjoying his football. And because we all know the script, right? I mean, it's the horrific injury. I'm just gonna put this out there. You know, he was signed possibly off the back of Cooper, knowing Cooper, or he had an expectation. Cooper wanted him.
100%.
Yeah. So you know, maybe a bit of credit where it's due. He looked good at the start of the season. Then he went into a poor run of form. Interesting how fate has played out in that he benefited from the injury crisis and the AFCON because we were forced to play him even when he wasn't in great form. And lucky us, because now he is looking the real deal. I think I'm correct when I say he has 3 full England caps. So we know what the potential is there. I hope he stays fit. My question would be, what would really make him the complete player is if maybe he's the missing piece of the jigsaw. Why isn't he taking set pieces? Because I think that he's got a very good right and left foot. He's got if he's got the brain, I would like to see him maybe taking the set pieces, not Gibbs White. So I don't know why they haven't necessarily looked at that. Maybe they have, but that would be something I would explore with him.
I'd let Tavares take the corners. I think he's got the best delivery.
Yeah, Tavares from one side, definitely. But I actually like when well, we tried it a couple of times yesterday, and it just didn't work with the short corners where we're trying to get him on the edge of the box so he can have that. But he scored the same way he scored that goal against Sheffield United. You know, he got it was from a corner, wasn't it? We literally played it short to him, and he got that angle at the edge of the box. So to be honest, Rob, I haven't seen anything in his set pieces. It's anything for me to say that he should be our set piece taker. So I'll have to.
It's a good crosser.
Knowledge on that one. Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, he does, but a set piece is different. It is just
but it's not as if we're like taking somebody that's brilliant off set pieces away.
Exactly.
Try him out.
If I can just have my quick word on Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, go on.
When we were linked with him, I was not keen because obviously the guy's not been great the last couple of years. But before that, he was the next superstar, world superstar.
Yeah.
If you remember, Bayern Munich, 60 million. No, that's not enough in them days. So we knew he had talent, but then he had the shocking injury, and he's never seemed to have got a run in a team anyway. So I was nervous when he came, but like you said, 2 or 3 million quid. Okay, well, it's worth the gamble.
Yeah.
And I'm so pleased to see what I'm seeing from him now, because sometimes his skill is breathtaking. The way he goes past players and stuff is, and now he's scoring goals as well, which is only going to build his confidence, build his belief back up. And we could have a real player on our hands here, you know, and that's great. That's great for us, you know. And he seems invested in playing for Forest as well, which is nice to see.
And when we were talking,
we've given him that chance, you know.
Yes.
And when we were talking to the guys we know in the club, they've all said he just needs confidence. He trusts me. He's brilliant on the training pitch and all that. He just needs a goal. He needs some confidence.
He's got a real swagger now, though, hasn't he? Look at him. He really. There was a moment where he, just before he put a cross in, he just stopped dead and just eyed the fullback for like 2 or 3 seconds, and you didn't know if he was going left or right. And he's just got such a swagger about him.
He's one of them players, isn't he, Rob, that he could stop the ball. And move,
change direction,
and you can go either way.
Like a cobra in front of you, and you're thinking like, "Oh, I don't want to commit. I don't want to commit because he's going to go the other way." You know, he's brilliant like that. With the ball at his feet.
Having Reina over his shoulder, I think helps as well. He's got to keep players on their toes, and that should be the mentality anyway. So we'd all like to see Reina play, but I wouldn't. We've got to remember that Reina's here on a loan till the end of the season. We've got no recourse to buy him or anything like that. We do. I don't want the same situation as Andre Santos. Definitely not. I do want to see gameplay.
No, but Ez is different. Ez is different.
Yeah, this is different, and his time will come, and he will be valuable to us. But I like the progression that I'm seeing from Hudson-Odoi, especially. I think Elanga needs to, if he sharpens up his shooting, like he got in the positions yesterday, and that's a good sign. You know, we always say that as long as they're getting in the positions, whether it's a striker or not, and it worked even when we had Origi playing down the right side and Elanga in the middle. He was getting in the position. So if he can tidy up his finishing, then he's a real talent as well. Go on.
I'll tell you what, Origi stepped up as well, which is good to see, because a lot of people were. I know he's not the best, but he stepped up from the levels that we saw last year. You know, he did well in the FA Cup as well. So everybody's stepping up. That's the thing. Everybody's trying to play to the best of their ability, which I think
Me and
is
Ant
brilliant.
argued about this yesterday.
Yeah, well, we didn't argue exactly. We just
We had a
didn't
discussion.
agree. But yeah, I mean, you thought he was just nothing, no impact.
Freuler.
Yeah, Freuler.
Flick, though,
I've not seen Freuler do a flick like that. I've not seen. Maybe I'm being blinded by that bit of skill, but it was brilliant. It was brilliant, and it led to a goal as well.
Exactly.
Which is nice.
Yeah, I think Origi's flick.
He did run about. He did run about. He did put himself about a lot. He did run about. You know me. I never wanted Origi here. You know that. Straight away I said, "What the hell? We're buying that useless idiot for." I had to think of a word then. But yesterday I was quite impressed with him. Again, maybe I was just high on we were winning. You know, he did a great flick. He did a couple of great flicks actually.
Yeah.
But I thought he was good yesterday. I thought he contributed. He contributed positively yesterday.
It's worth just saying quickly, we're 13 likes or 14 likes off 350, which is massive.
We've literally got a minute left. We're not going to.
I've seen a
good. That means we don't have to talk about Taiwo. Then I'm glad about that.
Just on that point, quickly, as I've seen a few people who have literally just joined. So it's been a good stream. So once it's finished, go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Especially when Ant gets called a pillock. And the hat with the 4.99. Thank you so much, bro. Rob, you are now saying what we all need at the start of the season. Callum on outside and Tavo cutting inside is just a thing of beauty.
Yeah. I think there was another one from Ant.
We'd still like a bit more end product on Tavares, but he's worth having in just for what he's bringing out of Hudson-Odoi. But if we can get some end product on Tavares, stop him shooting with his right foot, he could actually, and I dare say this, he could actually be worth buying at the end of the season.
Bloody hell. And it's not just that. The key thing for me is that when Callum Hudson-Odoi got stuck in a cul-de-sac and he looks up, Tavares was there, ready and available to give him a pass up.
His engine's really good as well. And Tavares hasn't come off that pitch looking exhausted at any stage, and he does get up and down that left wing quite rapidly as well.
We're 2 likes off 350. Two people
weren't we? His defending yesterday was, mind you.
I couldn't knock it. I mean, look, the two biggest threats. The two biggest threats, other than Ward-Prowse, it was is Bowen and Kudus, and Kudus had to switch sides because he wasn't getting any change. A couple of times he managed to get past Nico, but Nico recovered really well, and Dominguez really backed him up on those occasions. And then he flips up over to the other side, gets no change out of Nuno, and Nuno being backed up by Murillo. So I think we dealt with their threats fantastically in open play yesterday, and even in set pieces. So those massive improvements. And you got to say that the fullbacks did their jobs yesterday really well, both sides.
The 79p from Ant the hat, the super sticker, but he did say, Ant, you look dark in there. That's for a candle for you, mate, to light up your background a little. Thank you so much. Okay, we still got plenty to talk about, but it's 2 hours now. We got to call it, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I've been looking forward to this one all day, boys, and we've gone on for 2 hours. So thank you all for chilling with us. Enjoy your working week. Tomorrow we've got an analysis video coming out. Beat the Drop is back this week. We're just sorting out which day of the week because Everton are playing Crystal Palace tomorrow. Jimmy will be on there. I expect you all in the chat giving him pelters. So hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Go and enter the competition to win the City Ground. That's on the community tab for you guys. Now we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.